Alright, ladies and germs, I just watched Fallout Season 2, Episode 1, and I thought that it was fine. I thought it was perfectly fine. It is more Fallout. Although, at first I was kind of excited that this season was going to be week to week, because I think that type of release strategy is better for just like the general conversation. But I also do think that they should have done a 2 episode premiere, because this first episode of the season was kind of just reminding us that we're back in the world of Fallout. I feel like it didn't quite progress the plot enough to make it feel like a super satisfying season premiere. Like, well, bam, we're back in the world of Fallout, and here we go. But it was still good enough, and so I'm okay with it. So we get a look at Mr. House. Now, if you've played the games, then you're probably pointing at the screen and going, oh my gosh, it's the guy from the game. I know who that is. I've only seen pictures of him from the game. Like, I think in Fallout New Vegas it is. He's always like in a TV monitor. And I don't know if he's like the main villain of the game or not, but I know of him. I don't know anything about him. But it seems like he was this brilliant inventor, I guess, in the before times, and it seems like he became like a wealthy person, maybe a little bit like Tony Stark, maybe, I don't know. And it does seem like he was involved in the cabal of people that brought about nuclear fallout. We also meet up with the Ghoul and Lucy, and I mean, they're obviously the best part of the show. Ella Purnell is still great as Lucy. Walton Goggins is still great as the Ghoul. And the fact that they're going to be a little duo running off to New Vegas, I think that's really cool. And I like the whole scene of them taking out that camp. I like that we're seeing the two ideologies clashing. We have Lucy, who is trying to be hopeful in the wasteland, whereas the Ghoul is just completely jaded with life. I like their little exchanges where Lucy is like, yeah, I know that my existence has been a lie, but what's the alternative? To be like you? We go back to Lucy's vault, and it seems like tensions are rising. Like, people are not happy in the positions that they are, so I'm not entirely sure where this storyline is going to go, but I assume things are going to switch up drastically in that vault. We also have Norm trapped in the room with all the pods. The entire episode, I was like, why aren't you just smashing stuff? Why aren't you just waking people up? Why are you allowing yourself to be like mocked by this weird brain in a jar? And then by the end of the episode, he was finally just like, yep, I'm waking everybody up. Because, yeah, that's what you would do. You would just mess everything up if they're not going to let you out. And so I would assume that the Ghoul's family are going to be in these pods, right? If his wife is alive, if his child is alive, you would think that they would be in one of these pods. So I wonder if they're going to wake up and they're all going to get out, maybe. So I assume we'll find out next week. We also get flashbacks where the revolutionary lady is trying to get the Ghoul to work with her. I can't remember if they confirmed in the last season whether or not the Ghoul ended up like working with the revolutionaries and turning against his wife or something. But that definitely seems to be where they're going in this season, where the Ghoul is working with the revolutionaries. And presumably that's why he didn't get a spot in the cryo chambers along with his wife. And we end the episode with Hank going into this base, and he's presumably reaching out to Mr. House. But yeah, again, not too much for me to say about this episode. It definitely feels like an episode where somebody who's played the games is much more qualified to analyze everything and analyze the lore. But for somebody who's just into the show, this pilot was a little middling. It felt like it was just establishing that we're back in this world, but it didn't really do anything all that crazy. And I feel bad because I was going to play Fallout New Vegas before this season came out, but I made the mistake of trying to play it after The Outer Worlds 2, and it is really hard to go from a really nice, polished, modern game with good gameplay to a janky old Bethesda game. I know it was developed by Obsidian, but it's using the same game engine from Bethesda, and it was just kind of unbearable. I feel like I have to play it after not another first-person RPG. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get to it at some point during the season. I don't know, man. Bethesda needs to figure their stuff out. Like, we need modern ports of these games that aren't garbage. Because they're just too old, I think, for a lot of us modern gamers. But either way, I enjoy the show. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.